Hello and welcome back. It's Sunday afternoon, and you know what that means. It's time for Morgan's lazy Sunday afternoon live stream, in which I might be working on some day job stuff today. I don't know. So just things that I should have gotten done that I stalled on last week because I haven't been feeling much of any sort of productivity lately.
This past week has been like zilch in the productivity line for me too.
Yeah.
So I get it.
So I've taken 2 months off from writing, and I just not.
I'm just like starting to get back into it. I'm starting a new story thing. Like I'm writing for Vela.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do like little flash chapters, episodes.
Okay.
And see if that like kickstarts my writing bug.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of binge reading, so I've been getting a lot
good.
But like nothing off my bookshelf. I'm just been. I think
you're reading slush. Yeah.
I mean, I think I just binged a bunch of like Regency romances. And they weren't even paranormal. I don't know what's up with me.
I know the feels. The last good book that I read was a domestic drama.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is like super not what I normally read.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was really good. Like, it was really well written, and it was better than Netflix. So I was like, I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah. I've been enjoying the Regency romances, but I mean, I did take a day off to Shannon McGuire's latest ghost story book came out. So of course I binged that one. They're tied into her Encrypted series. So highly recommend everything by Shannon McGuire. So she's my favorite author right now.
Oh, cool.
And she's going to be our guest of honor at Balticon, and I'm so excited.
That is super exciting.
I wish I were on a panel with her, but I'll take what I can get and like obsessed and quietly fangirl from over here.
Yeah, I know, right?
So yeah, very excited.
Just remember, authors are people too.
I know. When I was working guest relations, I would, do everything for my guests. And then on the last day, I would step around the table and be like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. Can you sign this for me? No, you're actually taking my money. Thank you. And then I'd come back around and say, do you need another Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, that's super fun. I did this once.
Okay.
Meeting they go by Sophia now.
Okay.
Ross? Sophia Ross. They do a series of comics called Dark Moon, and they were very formative or very influential in my formative years. And I was like, different body types? What? In comics? I don't understand. So we're hanging out at Lamar Abrams' table at SPX because like Lamar and I went to school together. Okay. And we're just like geeking out about X-Men. And Sophia says that like their favorite X-Man is Cyclops, and that's my least favorite. So I'm like, well, my favorite is Cyclops. And after this argument as to which X-Men is better, I'm like, so I'm going to take a moment to fangirl for a second. Can you like sign this book? just the quickie. And they did a super quick doodle of Cyclops for me.
Okay.
And they were like, you want to do an art trade? And I was like, sure. And he's like, well, draw Psylocke in a way that would make me like her. And I was like, okay. So I went and I took like 35 minutes and I drew like a honest to God picture of her and handed it over to them, and they were like, "Whoa! I did like a stupid like one line bullshit sort of thing, and you give me this masterpiece. I don't understand." So that was like, I can count on like one hand the number of times I've like fangirled out, and that one is my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been going to science fiction and fantasy conventions since before I could walk. I think I went in the womb, so I know how to treat them like regular people, and then I know how to be very excited, and then
and then go back to treating them like regular people.
What are we getting for lunch?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely looking forward to things and stuff. Oh, right. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Jennifer Brown was here first. Yay. Lee came in. Hello and welcome. We've got Lizzie and Amelia. And Sin is here. Hello. Greg swung by. Great to see you as always. Doc followed me over. Hello and welcome. And we've got MM Ward. Hello. Yay.
Jennifer cracking me up saying that she can't get rid of me.
Right. So let's see. I was talking about how I just haven't been feeling it, and Lizzie sounds like she's right in my same boat. Feeling down today, failed to write a second draft, has been trying to edit anything for so long and just can't. My brain wasn't made for editing. Being an author was my last chance.
Well, babe.
You can always have another chance. Writing just sits there and waits for you.
Writing just waits for you. And it will be ready for you whenever you are ready for it.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if that's reassuring or like creepy stalker, but you can't escape it. It'll be there for you.
It'll be there for you. Unless you burn it or something, in which case.
That was a choice.
That was a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Lizzie says, I guess that's the downside of having a career dream as your lifeline. If this attempt doesn't work, I'm calling it quits.
No.
There are so many writers who the first 10 books didn't work until they, everybody likes to think that writers, succeed on their first book and find their market. And that is so, so rare. These overnight successes typically have been working at it for like 10 years, 20 years. It's not, writing is not a
overnight thing. Yeah.
It's not an overnight. Like nothing in the publishing industry works that quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that goes for art too.
Yeah. You got to be in it for the long haul, unfortunately. And it's tough on the ego, let me tell you, and my pile of form rejection letters.
Especially if you're going traditional. Holy cannoli.
Yeah. But I just, the amount of legwork required for indie is just so hard to get traction. And I want that external validation.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I admit it.
Yeah.
I know where I'm at. I haven't ruled out self-publishing. I don't think it's lesser or anything like that. I'll read.
There are a lot of hats involved in self-publishing, and
everything.
And you have to do everything. And even if you have to do everything, some people still don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
So I weighed the pros and cons of both, and self-publishing was it for me. So now I'm not an overnight success by any means, even though I've published a book, but the next one comes out in like September.
Awesome. Yay. Is that the joint book or is that your solo?
That's the joint book.
Okay. So, Doc says he's not actually stalking me, but totally agrees that it takes 10 years to become an overnight success in this business.
I know, right?
So, Greg admired, I believe you had an evil castle. I mean, I work on mine, but, I only use it on rare occasions.
That was a rare occasion.
You gotta, it's gotta be used in the right context. You can't just be like breaking out an evil cackle for, you know.
No, I absolutely agree. You can't just cackle for the sake of cackling.
Right. Right.
There's a time and a place.
Yup. Yeah. So Lizzie says she really wants to be indie, but with her luck, getting people to care about what I write, I'll probably be a hobby writer forever. Most of us are. I mean,
Newsletter.
As long as, you know, somebody likes your stuff, that's awesome. That's super awesome. But, you know,
I advise, if you're going indie, take a couple of months and just like do homework on your audience. You know, figure out where they are, start to bond with them, start to become friends with them, and then be like, oh yeah, I also have this book.
Right. Lizzie says she can't pick a career for her right now. She used to know the two she wanted. Now she knows nothing is working for her and she's not meant to be successful.
No. Like, I didn't become successful until I was well into my 30s. And that's success, right?
Yeah.
Is working for myself and like actually making money at it, right? So, and like, you know, married, no kids, living in a house, you know, sort of situation. So, like, try not to take it so hard on, don't be so hard on yourself, you know, like, it takes time, it takes patience, and like, don't give up.
Yeah. I always knew I wanted to be a writer, and I always knew I needed a day job. Like even at like 6 years old, writing was something somebody did to like as an out, you know, and sometimes people loved it. I assumed, you know, obviously everybody would read it and stuff like that, but I never expected it to pay my bills, because that's like the 1%. But I am right now second guessing my day job, because I'm just not feeling motivated.
Oh, wow.
At all. So I don't know. I don't know what I want to do from here though. So for now, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
And, you know, pay down as much debt as I can while I'm still bringing in the bucks.
Yeah. So, I feel you.
So, yeah. Maybe I should talk to a career coach. I don't know, but it's not bringing me fulfillment, and I am very unmotivated at a lot of it right now. And so that's just where I am. I love the people I work with. I think they're great and supportive and so responsive, and I like my company. But the last couple of projects I've been working on have not held my interest, and just really frustrated and bored and struggling. So, you know, I think it happens to all of us at some point, though.
It sure does.
So, let's see. Kelly admired my beautiful cackle. We have My Atlantic Teacher Life. Hello, Carrie. Thank you for joining us. So let's see. Doc says, it all depends on how you define success. In terms of popularity and sales, my writing is not successful. In terms of creating stories that people love, I am successful.
And that's my goal as well, is like, my audience is small but fierce.
Right.
You know?
Doc says he's got people telling him he needs to write faster because they want the next story and they don't want to wait. And that's awesome. And when I look back on my childhood dreams, I always said I wanted to be a writer. I never actually specified published, so I guess I'm already there, you know?
I never actually said I want to be an author. Though there came a point where I was like, I write like, you know, steadily enough, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be published. So why don't I actually finish a book, and why don't I publish that book? But that was like a step and a step and a step, and they were like stretch goals, you know, like, I'm a writer. Well, I'm going to write. All right. Well, I'm great at Flash. Let's write a short story. Okay, I wrote the short story and I've gotten pretty good at that. So why don't we write a novel? Okay, I've gotten pretty good at the novel. Why don't I publish it? and it just like kept going like that. So like, I wouldn't say aim low, but like define success. Like,
right. And try to wrap it up in things that you can control. You can't control the market, you can't control who reads it, but you can control what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jennifer had some advice. She said, if you had the courage to get out of bed today, you are successful. She's well into her 40s and not a published author yet, and that's okay. She's still going. And I hear that. I totally hear that. So
5,000 copies a year is a lot.
Yeah, that's like traditional publishing. That's successful. Bottom line, we'll keep publishing you.
Yeah.
So Lizzie says, since the 2016-17 disaster fires, this is her only motivation to keep going. Everyone hates her. Fine. Never get married and have 2 kids. Fine. Fail at everything else. Fine. Not be an author. Ruin. Life changes. Life changes so fast. Where you are right now is not where you have to end up. If you are in a bad place, figure out what steps you need to take to get out of there and get somewhere new. And you usually can't do it tomorrow, but you can do it in the next 2-3 years. You know, you don't have to be stuck where you are forever. And we are totally out here rooting for you. 100%.
We are super rooting for you.
So Doc says very few writers make a living off their writing. Amelia says writing for me will always be a hobby thing, and I'm okay with that.
Same here.
So much chat trying to catch up. But yeah, Lizzie agrees. 5,000 copies, a small and loving audience who loves my characters. That's literally it. Yes, my dream is someone I don't know coming up to me and telling me they loved something from my book.
Ditto.
That like a friend of mine did not hand them the book. Someone totally unconnected to me. That's the dream right there.
Yeah.
Although I kind of had that from my blog. I had somebody run into me at the Ren Fair and recognize me and come up and say hi.
So, that's cool.
So I guess my blog is officially successful, even if it costs me money.
Yeah, indeed.
So Doc says he wanted to be an actor and make movies, but as a writer and voice actor, he gets to play all the parts.
That's awesome. He's
been pretty happy with aim low and overachieve as a philosophy. So Lizzie says being a good writer with great ideas while being broke, having minimum support and bad editing skills is rough. It is, but you can get better at editing. You can find supportive people. And, you know,
we love you.
You don't have to be alone. And, you know, a good, you know, running your stuff through like Hemingway app and stuff. You can use some freebie tools and then reach out to beta readers. And that should be able to get your writing up that next notch.
And there are all kinds of communities you can join to find beta readers.
Yeah. Yeah. Emma Ward says she gave up writing for adulting, and it was only after she became disabled that she returned to it, a 30-year gap, and writing was still there waiting for her.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, what was my Atlantic teacher's name? Carrie, that's who it is. Carrie says, I feel like I'm losing motivation in both teaching and writing. COVID is making an impact. We were back to normal for a while in Nova Scotia, but then people from Ontario came over, no quarantine and crazy spike. Oh my God. It's so disheartening. So disheartening.
I can only imagine how hard it is being a teacher in this kind of climate.
Yeah, it's rough. It really is.
It's hard enough on my husband, and he's a college professor. I can only imagine what it's like for those that teach little ones.
Right?
Especially the special ed teachers. Like,
yeah.
How do you quarantine them? Like, how do you, like, you can ask them to socially distance? Like, how?
I mean, some of them get it and some of them don't.
Some of them aren't going to get it.
And I
Yeah.
mean, my ex works at an assisted living facility right outside the dementia ward. The people in the dementia ward, I mean, that's part of why they just like stopped visitors, is because you can't tell them they have to wear a mask because they're going to forget in some of them 5 minutes. They have nothing, no new
short
memories are being
Yep.
made.
No short term. Yep.
So Doc says he was so happy the first time he got a review on Amazon that was from someone he didn't know.
Cool.
Lizzie says she has a big fear of someone writing a book with my main couple's names, say Bella and Edward. So I'd have to change one of the names. That usually doesn't matter as much as you think, except for like Mr. Darcy or,
I'm kind of in a similar boat in that I am publishing like my books through White Wolf, and my main character's name is Enzo, and there is already an Enzo in their universe. So I'm like, do I just change the name? Because his name is Lorenzo. So do I just call him Ren? Like, do I?
Lori?
His twin brother used to call him Ren. So like, I could probably get away with that. But like, I don't know. Like, does it matter that much? I don't know that it does.
I don't know. So yeah. Doc says that everybody's welcome to join the Germantown Writers Guild. Since COVID, they've had new members from Palestine and Germany. For those of you who aren't local, Germantown is one of the DC suburbs in Maryland. So Germantown, Maryland. Carrie says that they had 0 deaths and like a max of maybe 10 for months since October. And now they've got hundreds. Oh my goodness. And she is a special ed teacher. So that is so rough.
10 active cases.
Yeah. So Lizzie thought my Mr. Darcy example was hilarious because they're reading Pride and Prejudice right now. YouTube keeps suggesting Pride and Prejudice or like Jane Austen analysis videos, or they keep coming up on my feed.
Oh, whoops.
When it just auto plays.
Yeah.
So I watched a couple this week, so it was in my head. Lizzie says, teachers are strong, all the love.
All the love.
So
especially special ed teachers. Oh my gosh.
Seriously. Oh my goodness.
All my love to you.
Yeah. So Ward said a little while ago that she's taken a break from her daily writing schedule to be a gardener and prep for her bees.
Who should be coming home soon, yeah?
That's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's usually I feel, reinvigorated in spring, and it's not happening for me. So,
well, it's kind of pretending not to quite be spring. So
yeah, it's raining all the time with, highs in the 80s and lows in the 50s. That's Virginia for you.
Yeah.
So Doc goes, bees.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's exactly how he said it.
Indeed. I got a bolt.
Oh, okay. Go get your tiramisu.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. And Greg is clearly a fan of Pride, Prejudice, and zombies. So, well, we are here to tend to be productive or think about being productive. What are y'all working on? Let me know. Sako said she had some friends coming over, bringing her tiramisu to help spread out that happy birthday celebration, because yesterday was her birthday. So yay. Today, I think I'm going to be working on some day job stuff that I was supposed to do last week that didn't get done because I have no motivation and no focus. Like, I have never read half a book and then set it down and wandered off. And that's happened in the last month. Like, I'm a binge reader. That's what I do. I don't know. So Doc says he's been enjoying the mid 60s to 70s weather we have because he's local. So Greg is admiring the quality of Sako's friends who bring her tiramisu. Do you need better quality friends? Or at least more local ones? So Doc says, but now I have a gazebo. I do. My yesterday was spent 5.5 hours with some friends helping me assemble what they call a gazebo. If you Google and you're trying to buy, say, a semi-permanent tent structure with like a solidish roof and like mosquito netting around the side, they call that a gazebo. I've watched Sound of Music. A gazebo is a freestanding wooden structure with benches around the inside, typically in a hexagonal or octagonal shape. It is not a rectangular tent structure, but if you're trying to buy one, they sell them as quote unquote gazebos. So that's what I spent yesterday doing. And according to Fitbit, I got my first A in sleep. I got 9 hours and 45 minutes last night, and I got a 90% quality on my sleep, which is the first time literally this year I've gotten over an 80 something on my sleep. So that's exciting. Amelia is working on some research project for Project Witch Book that she's writing. And Lizzie is making plans for the second version of her second draft of her second book in a few seconds. Doc says, this is why Eric doesn't know what a gazebo is. People selling the wrong thing while calling it a gazebo. Rue! I shake my fist. Anyway, probably correlated. Yes. So, who's up for a 21-minute sprint? Because it's 2021, it will be 20 minutes and 21 seconds because it amuses me and this is my live stream. So that's what you get to deal with. I am sharing my screen. I am sharing my audio. I am sharing my Chrome tab. Boom. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started on our productivity sprint, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's getting a snack. Maybe it's taking a nap. Maybe it's getting some words in. In 3, 2, 1, bam. Let's get started. We've replaced their Sako with a duck. Let's see if the audience notices.
Howdy, howlers.
So Sako had to leave because friends showed up with tiramisu to celebrate her birthday and priorities hashtag. So Doc has graciously agreed to join me for the rest of this live stream for the next hour. So did you want to say hi to people?
Hello to everyone. I am Doc Coleman. I am a steampunk author. I am the author of
Things and stuff.
this lovely book, The Perils of Prague, which is available in various places.
Like my bookcase.
Yeah, like her bookcase. I'm working on the sequel to it, which is The Kindred of Kali. I
Finished your edits last week, 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Yeah.
It was last week. I finished the edits of the second draft. My next step is getting sensitivity writers to double check all of the sensitivity readers to double check all of the misinformation I put down about the culture of India and the Hindu religion and tell me what I got wrong so I can fix it.
Awesome. So how was your sprint?
I feel like my sprint was actually ludicrously productive. I'm finishing up some notes in the book that I made. I made while I was editing. It's like, oh, I have to do research for this. I'll just leave a note instead and move on, which is part of how I maintain my fast editing speeds. Is I just leave notes and finish it up later.
So that's more like a teacher correcting stuff than actually like putting in the work. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm talking about right now. I've got to go and do the homework for the stuff that I couldn't fix on the fly.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of what I've run into is in this story, I have a fancy dress ball in an Indian court, which means that I have to come up with descriptions of not just one, but two different gowns worn by main characters to this ball, which means I have to figure out what do Indian women wear for formal occasions. So
remember, fancy dress in Britain, and I think your main characters are from there, it means it's a costume contest, costume party.
Doesn't necessarily. But
depending on the era.
Yeah, it depends on the event. But some of the characters are British. Some of them are Indian. In this particular world, well, there are some people who have taken on British mannerisms, but there are also still a lot of Indian people who maintain their own traditions, right. And so it's kind of like, how do I mix these two? And fortunately, right now, actually, there's a lot of that going on. So there's some interesting Indo-European styles out there that I can kind of directly incorporate into the book if I want to.
Fun, super fun.
So I was able to find a lot of source material during the break. So now I just have to go through it and figure out what I'm going to use. So how was your break? What production did you engage in?
I logged onto my work laptop, waited for it to load, opened the document I plan to use, and then I'm looking for references in a resource document that is over 1,700 pages.
Oh, lovely.
So it's searching right now. There's a reason I have trouble getting momentum at day job right now.
Yeah.
Because, I'm like, okay, I'm focused. Let's do the thing. And wait 10 minutes. Oh, wait, let me do something while. And then 30 minutes later, I come back. It's really hard to get momentum sometimes. So
that was the kind of situation that made me start reading at work. We used to have a trouble ticket system that we were required to use, and we were required to record all of our steps in. Oh. And it was literally a case of go over to the one terminal that we had when no one else was using it, log in, and wait for the system to come back. It was so slow. I started taking a book into work so I could read while waiting for the computer.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
A ton of reading done that year.
Right. The last thing I was testing failed the test because it passed all the steps, but one of the sub requirements is to take fewer than 8 hours of real time, and it took 21.
Yeah, that's a failure.
And I was not proactive and did not ask for anything else to do while I was waiting for that to happen. So my hours got a little ridiculous, and so work's not happy with me right now. So that's the thing that happens. Anyway, let's talk about more cheerful things. I'm going to pop into the comments where Heather joined us. Hello. Let's see. Sako disappeared. Everybody loves alliteration. So Amelia says, I was so chill. I forgot about the timer and it nearly scared her to death. I'm so sorry. I try to have the chillest possible timer imaginable because I hate being alarmed by alarms. I do not want to be alarmed. I want to be gently nudged. So Lizzie says she wrote down her word count in her journal for the month, draft 1, and changed the document title. So now it's changed the nano word count from 37,320 to 0. And she successfully now has negative 37,320 words out of the 1,642 that she needs to edit today. I hear that. That's
an accomplishment.
Great. And yay, Lizzie likes my timer. It's the only one that doesn't scare her. Yeah. I think some of it is I'm a soft sleeper. And, my body kind of is already in the wake cycle. So I always set the most calming, soothing possible alarms on my phone because, I don't want to jolt awake. It's not my jam. So
I tend to be a sound sleeper. So if I do that, I'll sleep through the alarm.
Right. And I understand different people do different sleep levels. But yeah. So Kelly is jealous of Sako's tiramisu right now. I think many of us are.
I can relate.
So, and Greg says the negative 37,000 words sounds like a 16-bit overflow issue. That's a coding joke. Sometimes if the number gets too big for the space allotted in the memory, the computer memory, then it accidentally flips the switch to make it a negative number instead of a positive number because that last bit is the positive negative stuff. So I think that was at layperson level.
I think so.
Okay. So explaining Greg's joke, because everybody knows it's funnier if you have to explain it.
Of course.
That's how jokes work. So I've been using that quote for years, and I got it from my friend Mookie, who writes, he was writing Dominique Deegan, and then he did Star Power comic, and he used it in his Star Power comic, and my sister saw it, and it's like, he stole your joke. And I'm like, no, I stole it from him like 5 years ago.
I am so behind on my web comics. It's like, oh yeah, Dominic Deegan. I used to read that. Oh my God, how far behind?
Dominic Deegan finished. He did Star Power comic with Garth Graham for 3 to 5 years. That finished, and now he's doing Dominic Deegan Legacy.
Oh Lord, yeah.
So you're a little behind.
A smidge.
Just a smidge. Sorry, I'm a webcomic addict. I'm recovering. I'm down to 25 a week or something.
I literally used to sit down, open up I always use the browsers that remember all your tabs and open them all back up. So I would literally open up a window with 100 tabs of webcomics.
Oh, no. I had mine broken out by subsections. So I would check. I had a separate one for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week daily, twice a week, once a week, rarely. So that way I would never open more than 25 tabs at a time.
Oh, I was never that organized.
Plus, that way I could open only the ones that updated that day of the week rather than, all of them every day.
The closest I came to that was when I was using OmniFocus which would remember when was the last time you saw an update and would only show you the tabs that had updates.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was a thing. Greg says he gave up webcomics when he gave up LJ, Live Journal. I gave up LJ when I moved over to Dreamwidth, so, you know. And claims he stole it after I stole it first. Bum, bum, bum. So I guess you can steal things back. Lizzie said somebody on AuthorTube uses a rooster timer. She was in the zone before she started hearing roosters.
Okay.
And the Google timer also startles her. Well, if you want to know where I got this one, it's online-timer.net, and I set the acoustic arpeggio. So let me drop that link in the chat in case anybody else wants to use my timer.
I like MM Ward's comment. I like the chime times too, but Amber loves bomb timers, and I jump every time.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no. I like soothing. I want to be petted awake. I don't want to, like, have water dumped in my face. So, so yeah, it's free. It's online. I just stream the sucker. So, you think I wouldn't be yawning? Well,
so last I saw, you were actually on 2 panels at Balticon?
I am. They're both about plotting, which is a little awkward because I'm not a huge plotter. I'm a moderate plotter, but, you know. I guess I'll be the voice of reason. So,
were you looking for more panels, or are you just going to be?
I told Lisa I was available for more, and I'd love to be on a panel with Doc. And she's like, "They're full. Peace out, yo."
Aw.
So, but I waited like 4 days after you said something. So I was slow. Although I was going to do a tour of all the different mediums. So that's not on the schedule, so I need to talk to her about that.
Yeah.
It happens.
I've got a couple panels that only have like 3 people.
Gotcha.
But it's, I believe they're like mostly on Monday, and they're things like Future Utopia or Tactily Terrifying or Digital Immortality. And I don't know if those are really up your
they're not my jam. Not my jam. For those who are curious, both of us are going to be panelists at Balticon. That's where we met, actually. He had the hotel room next to me and got locked out of his room. And so I ran into him in the hallway. So yeah, Balticon is free and online Memorial Day weekend. So in 12 days, and tons of writer panels and stuff like that. Shannon McGuire is our guest of honor this year. So should be exciting. I will be talking about plotting stories and plotting character arc growths. So that's me.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing a whole lot of different things. I like this. I'm on 12 panels. Normally the limit is 10. But I'm one of those people that says, you need somebody on a panel, put me on a panel, I'll fake it.
Right.
But I'm doing a panel on podcasting on the cheap. I'm on a panel on bureaucracy. I've got one about working in shared universes, because I've done a couple things in shared universes.
I've had a couple people reach out to me about shared universe stuff, and I start to write, and I'm like, flail. I need to do more research, or I'm not feeling it. I just don't have a good story for this. So I don't know if it's
part of it is understanding the universe that somebody's inviting you to write into. Yeah. And the other part is, do you have a story that you really want to tell? And it's like, if the story's not coming, it's not coming.
Yeah. So I've definitely run into that. So Lizzie says whenever her dad has a search warrant, she's allowed to have her phone in her room to use as an alarm. Maybe she should change the radar setting, but it annoys her enough to wake up eventually. And she uses an alarm in the shower because without it, she'd been in there for like 30 minutes thinking it's only been 5. As the shoulders finally come down from the ears, right? That's how that works.
I hear people talk about being able to take a shower in 5 minutes. And it's like, how do you even start to get clean in 5 minutes?
I can do 5 if I have to, especially if I'm not washing my hair.
I was going to say, it's like 5 minutes. Okay, you can get wet. You can start to pull out the soap and shower up. But,
I can shower in 5 if I'm not doing my hair. If I'm doing my hair, 8 is the quickest I can get out of there. So 12 is rough. So, Heather says she's still working with her guest liaison on creating their disability panel. And it's a lot of fun to work with her on it. That's awesome. I'm super excited.
That's cool. I believe, I don't think it was last year. It was like the year before, the last live Balticon. We had a disability panel at Balticon. And yeah, it was definitely, and it was a good panel. It was an interesting experience and useful for people to not only see people who have obvious physical disabilities, but become aware of some of the invisible disabilities out there.
Yeah. I think they've had that panel every year for the last 3-4. I'm pretty sure I've attended and taken notes because I'm a panel addict. Okay. Heather works at Necronomicon in Tampa. So
cool.
And they also have a lot of writerly panels and authors as guests and stuff. So that's awesome.
You should totally have both of us down as guests.
Right. Lizzie is off to dinner, and
bye, Lizzie.
Just, happy alarming. So have a great dinner, hun. So I did not invite Duck on here just to plug Balticon, though. It just happens to be what's on our mind because we just got our schedule this week.
Because 2 weeks we have a con. So
yeah.
Are
Also,
you doing a stream during the con? Are you taking that week off?
I'm probably streaming. It's a Sunday. I don't have anything scheduled at that time. I just won't be on any panels for 3 hours, and we'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
4 hours, maybe 4 hours, because it's a half-hour overlap gap.
Yeah. So
it's a 2 hours, but I can't help on the hour before and after. So I guess I just get a long lunch dinner break. Caveat, I should warn everyone, I am the publicity and social media person for Balticon and its parent company. So I've got a staff meeting after this one. So, and a practice panel. And yeah, my life is Balticon for the next 2 weeks. It's basically how it goes. Although I'm not doing any Balticon stuff right now because day job stuff that I should have done last week.
Oops.
So,
yeah.
So what are you doing next sprint?
I'm digging through all the good material that I pulled up for in the last sprint. I'm digging through it now.
Gotcha. Do you think it's time for another sprint? Have we talked to ourselves enough?
I think it probably is, but before the first sprint, I don't think that you asked people to put in the comments what it was that they're working.
I totally did.
Oh, you did? I didn't remember seeing anybody.
It's okay. It's okay. People, let us know what you're working on right now. You know, I love to cheer everybody on as they do their progress. So yeah, some people say and some people don't. And I babble a lot. I mean, you don't end up with a live stream because you hate talking.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So let's see. Sorry. Sometimes I start singing to myself. Did you see the article about, was it gorillas that have food songs?
Yes. I saw the article about the fact that gorillas sing to themselves when they start eating. And if they get one of their favorite foods, they will actually sing louder.
And it's different songs for different gorillas. And it's clearly made up.
It's not like they've got a song that they repeat over and over again. It's they make up the song as they go.
It's like, I've got a banana and it's delicious. Delicious banana going in my face is basically what the gorillas are doing.
Yeah, it's basically 5-year-old food songs.
Right. So I saw Sako's expression. You want to join us again? We were just talking about.
I was like, bananas.
We were talking about the article about gorillas making up songs about foods when they're eating.
Oh, I see.
Which was hilarious. And
Yep.
so I was demonstrating. How was the tiramisu? Was it everything you wanted out of a tira and a misu?
Absolutely.
Did you kick them out?
No, they left on their own accord.
Oh.
Did you save tiramisu for us?
No, unless you want to gut me and get it out of my belly, but I would advise that you not do that.
I will take that under advisement.
Because you know how to cut a bitch.
Hmm?
Because you know how to cut a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Things I would not do. Try to steal food from a Sako.
Yeah, try not to do that. Especially once I've already eaten it. It's probably not.
Yeah, I can see the definite drawback to it.
Not usually what I'm into. So let's see. Heather says she's not actually working on writing at the moment, but doing mom things. Legit.
Mom things.
Legit. I'm doing day job stuff, so you know, I feel that.
Mom things need to be done. Actually, I need to press the button on a grocery order.
Ooh.
Deliver.
Sunday.
Yay!
Groceries on Sunday.
Well, actually, if I do it soon enough, I can get them today. That's why I need to press the button on it.
Today is Sunday.
Yeah.
Isn't
I
it?
thought you said Monday.
Oh no, I said Sunday. I can move the microphone closer.
It may not be your microphone. It may be my ear.
What are you working on, Sako, other than digesting that delicious tiramisu?
I am probably going to work on my Vela project,
Ooh.
which is a vampire, like Varney the Vampire, sort of like Penny Dreadful story.
Okay. Vela makes me think Velma.
I know, right?
Especially when you say Penny Dreadful, because they're so episodic and cheesy.
And that's exactly what I'm going for, is episodic and cheesy.
Cool.
So we'll see how cheesy I make it. I don't know. I'm basically RPing with myself for this project. So it's hard to be the storyteller and the player simultaneously, which
Gotcha.
I respect any author who does these things.
Yeah. So I actually read a book called Meddling Kids.
Yeah.
That was what if one of the cases turned out not to be an unmasked person?
Oh, great.
And them dealing with the aftermath 10 years later, going back to actually fix it. And the mental issues that they're all suffering and dealing with in the aftermath.
Excellent.
And I think they lost somebody and stuff like that. It was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. So highly recommend. Don't see it on my bookshelf right now, so I can't tell you the author. Oh, wait, is that? No, I don't see it. Oh, well. You can Google it. It'll be fine. So, let's see. M. Ward is chasing her muse across the idea meadow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Because she has decided to plot path for the end of the book. 3 has decided that to plot the path for the end of book 3, it isn't where she wants to tread. So now she's replotting that one.
That one.
So, and welcome back, Sako.
Yay!
Yay, we have Sako. It was great when Doc joined. He said, hi, I said, let's see if anybody notices. And he goes, howdy,
I said howdy.
And I died laughing. It was hilarious. It was cute. Okay, so let's do another sprint.
Sure.
In 3, 2, 1. Roll that beautiful sprint footage.
Timer. Share the time. One moment, please. Morgan is busy.
Okay, and I'm back.
Yep.
So I made progress on day job stuff.
Yay.
I did a third of this particular requirements tracing thing. It's tedious. It's annoying, but I found a huge chunk of what I'm looking for in sections right after each other. So instead of having to search the 1,700 page document, I get to just scroll to the next section because this clump is together.
Oh, good.
So yeah, it takes 3 to 5 minutes real time for it to search the document. So it's a momentum impediment. How was your sprint?
Mine was good. Of all things, I looked through a lot of different dresses and found some really interesting ones.
Nice. Nice.
When was the last time you heard a guy say that? I realized that the site I'm looking through is actually slightly more modern, but it's actually a store that has a wide traditional selection of traditional dresses. So
Nice.
there's at least elements there that I can say, oh, okay, I can take this from that and that from this,
All right.
and come up with something. And I found a lovely article on the fact that not all Indian dresses are saris.
Yes, that is true.
Is basically an Indian writer pointing out that Western people need to stop referring to every Indian dress as a sari because there's actually a variety.
Yeah, there are a variety.
Although it does admit that the popularity and utility of the sari is part of what creates this misapprehension. And I'm being attacked by a cat who wants attention.
I mean, cats are welcome on all my streams.
Mine went really well. I'm
Good.
finding ways to randomize my encounters and my settings and my the more random, the better.
Nice.
So I thought I would use a generator. That didn't work out. So I'm using a questionnaire that has like 365 questions to flesh out a character for role players and writers. So that might spur some ideas.
How fun. That sounds super fun. Who's joining us, Doc?
This is Gilly.
Gilly. Okay. Hi. Hi. So, yeah, there's a lot of new cats in my life, but none in my house.
We can fix that.
I'm thinking about it. But the boyfriend has a new Norwegian forest cat who has doubled in size literally in like the last 4 weeks. And my
It's going to be a big cat.
Yeah. And my niece for her 10th birthday got her very own kitten.
Yeah.
That she is totally cat warrior naming. Because its name is currently Moon Kit, but it will turn into Moon Paw and then Moon Flower, I believe, is the evolution track here.
Oh, I see.
So apparently that's from the Cat Warrior series and not a Pokemon evolution thing.
Oh, okay.
She loves that series. She's read like 30, 40 of them. So yeah. Popping over to the comments, Lizzie has a new book idea in mind, but it's something different from the romance she usually writes, no happy ending. But it is the first book in a trilogy, with each book narrated by different people, and she might give it a try. It won't leave her alone. I think we've all been there. I mean, that's why we write.
That's why we write.
Yep.
I think my main reason is I have a notion about characters and settings and stuff, and I want to find out exactly how they get from point A to point B and what happens in the middle.
Indeed.
So, let's see. Lee took care of a phone call to Amazon customer service.
Oh.
They answered.
Never fun. I'm sorry. I hope they give you what you need. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Kelly is incorporating his new editor's developmental feedback and moving towards a shower scene closer to the opening scene. Presents an intimacy of 10 pages. Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. I hope this editor is working out. I know your last one bailed on you randomly last week, so hopefully it's a good one. Lizzie says her trilogy, I think, is a friends to lovers to friends romance. Ooh,
Nice.
Those are always fraught. I mean, romance is fraught, life is fraught, but yeah, super fun. Hello, Laura. Laura finally managed to force themselves to start the next chapter of the fanfic. Has been avoiding it for like a month.
Oh my gosh. What's your fandom?
Tell us.
What's your fandom?
Tell us. Tell us. You know you want to. Wait. If I'm going to be whispering into my mic, I should turn on the directional thing so I can do the ASMR thing.
Yeah.
My.
Yeah.
Sorry. I will stop tapping on my microphone now.
Meow.
Engineers everywhere will thank you.
So, who's meowing at us today, Sako?
This is Pabu Ikshu.
Hi.
Yeah, big fluffy.
Nice.
She's my Himalayan. She's my geriatric kitty. She's like 12 or 13 now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Or geriatric kitty.
Yeah.
For purebred, it's very geriatric.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Oh, Laura got back to us. Her fanfic is Julie and the Phantoms.
Cool.
And let's see. Lizzie says her friend's romance is the second book is a rich girl and bad boyish, and the third book is a secondish chance opposites attract romance. Oh, nice. The Regency romances I've been reading are a lot of second chance romances. And you get to see a couple of the bad boys redeemed, and one of them clobbered over the head and sent off to Australia.
As you do.
As you do. Yeah.
So
Black
waking
Velvet
up,
Band.
right? Waking up without his nobleman clothing and totally in the galleys of a, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
Right? Isn't that what you want to do with every jerk face? Ship them off to Australia and never see them again.
No, I wouldn't do that to Australia. They're actually not.
I mean,
There are a couple of people that I would like to ship off to strip them of their nobility and throw them to the dogs.
He has no access to his wealth or his title, and now he has to work for a living.
Yeah. I know, right?
So.
Yeah, there are definitely people that need to have that experience.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully not me. So yeah. Oh goodness. But yeah, so what we're talking about, cats, books, romances. Oh, Lizzie would ship them off to Greenland instead. And leave them there, friendless, alone in Greenland.
And the ice and snow.
Sorry, I was going Princess Bride. You want me to ship you back to where I found you?
Yeah. Oh, was that a Greenland?
Yeah.
It's been a while. I need to rewatch.
Clearly, or reread, either way, you know.
The place to go is Iceland because that's where it's nice.
Depending on the time of year.
Yeah.
August is great though, so you know.
Greenland.
Yeah. Greenland.
I mean, that happens to me all the time. I add letters. I think I'm getting worse at typing as I get older. I just started adding new letters and stuff, and although some of it is, I'm pretty sure one hand is faster than the other, and I did take keyboarding back in the day, and so I touch type. And so if one hand is faster than the other and my brain's working at the same speed, sometimes right-handed letters get in front of left-handed letters.
That happens to me quite often too.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
All the right letters are there, but they're not in the right order.
Exactly. And then autocorrect fixes it for me. And then I try to go back and fix it because, I'm touch typing and I keep ranting. My phone updated. I've got an Android, right? And when I got my new phone, they used to have voice to text would give you suggestions of things that sound similar. And now all of their suggested typos are as if I'd been typing. All their auto suggests are from typing typos, not things that sound the same. I'm like, why did you new and unimprove this nonsense?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Why did you take away this capability that was better than what you have now? And it fixes my grammar and adds in words that aren't supposed to be there because it misunderstood what I was saying in the first place.
You're not the first one to say this about the new Android update. Yeah.
That's my flip tables.
I've been having this experience with Duolingo when it actually it's like it started giving you the choice to say the Spanish instead of type the Spanish.
Oh.
And so I'm saying it and it puts it in correctly and then it goes back and changes it.
Right.
And it's like I just saw that it was in there right, so I'm hitting the submit button, and then it changes it to something wrong.
As you've already committed the movement to tap. Yeah, I totally get that. That's so frustrating.
Which is really irritating when you've got something where it's a sentence about one, and you say one, and it puts in one, and then it changes it to one. It's like I didn't say one.
Maybe the issue is your computer keyboard is auto correcting to English. And if you okay, because sometimes devices autocorrect to one language, and if you can turn that off or switch it to the language you're working in, then it might. I don't know. It's a thought.
Actually enabled autocorrect for both languages. So.
I got nothing then. Set it on fire, escaping the confusion.
Indeed. I used to have a friend named Juan, and I'd be like, hey, Juan. And he'd be like, what? And I'd be like, 2, 3,
That's so bad. That's so
I'm sure he could always count on you, Sako.
And he's like, damn it.
I had a coworker, and we'd like chat on the company messenger. And I would say, yeah, to stuff, YEAH. And after like a year, he's like, you're always so cheerful and excited. You always say yay. And I'm like, no, I'm saying yeah. Yay is YAY, not YEAH. I'm not that excited. Trust me. This is more of the affirmative meh. Right?
As opposed to someone saying "yay," Y-E-A.
Exactly. He thought it was yaying everything.
No.
So
learn English.
Yeah. Well, I have another meeting at 7, so I think maybe we'll wrap a couple minutes early rather than squeeze in another sprint.
Oh, okay.
So, did you want to do your outro first, Sako?
Oh, okay. Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are looking to market yourself as an author, you can find videos on the subject here on my channel, Sako Toomey Voit, and drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Okay, Doc. Oh, give me your links and I'll add them below after the session.
Okay. And I am Doc Coleman, steampunk author of The Perils of Prague, which is available on Amazon. And still working on the upcoming Kindred of Kali, but there are still other good crackle and bang adventure stuff out there. I write steampunk comedy adventure. As far as I know, I'm the only one who does it, so I'm the best at it. I'm also the worst. And you can find out more about me and my books at doccoleman.com. Or, like I said, you can search for me on Amazon. Just search for Doc Coleman Steampunk.
And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I write fantasy, and I am begging agents for that external validation. So this week over on my blog, I am talking about, I think I did the 5 components of a query letter, breaking down the mysteries and making it less intimidating. And over on the podcast, Writing Tips and Writerly Musings, you will find me talking about how to pick an agent to query this week. So that's what I've got going on right now. You can find me as Morgan Hazelwood everywhere except Twitter, where I'm Morgan Hazelwood. And yeah, so I'll be back again next Wednesday. Wait, no, what day of the week is it? Sunday at 4:30 Eastern. So and maybe some of these people will join me again. Thank you for tuning in, and have a lovely week. And maybe productivity will find us again someday.
I hope so.
It could happen. Bye.
We can keep writing.